Like Spinning Plates is the first song by Radiohead that I ever like was listening to, and I don't know, something about I really like music theory, and so I remember I was like 18 and I heard that song, and like something about it was I mean, I can say what it was specifically, but at the time I wasn't sure. The I don't know, just the chords, the way the chords worked and the way the keys worked. Like I could kind of just tell there was something cool going on that wasn't in a lot of like rock songs or anything. And I'd heard Radiohead before, like that was in like 2006. So, but that was the first song that kind of clicked for me. So I guess I want to just talk about some of the chords. I might just play it for a second. There's a lot going on there. Um, I don't really want to like go through the trouble of like going over all the chords, but I think the coolest part of the song to me is like I don't know who's listening to this, but if you do or don't know, the part of like a song, like when you say something like C major or it's in A minor or whatever, like you're kind of referring to what's called the tonic note, and that's just the note that like sort of the center of gravity, like in terms of harmony, like it's what the scale is anchored around, and like for instance in C major. It's the C, right? And what's confusing is there's a lot of scales or keys. I get the words mixed up, but there's a lot of scales and keys that share the exact same notes. Like D Dorian, for instance, is the exact same set of notes, but the idea is that it's just anchored around D instead of C. So like, and it's like the difference. There's so much mathematics to music, but that's one of those things that you kind of just have to listen to a lot of music and just, I don't know, it's a judgment call sometimes. Like even if they're using the same set of notes, like something is clearly in one versus the other. And so anyway, all that just to say that in Like Spinning Plates, there's two and that's not totally uncommon really. Like anytime there's a key change in a song, that happens. Or not necessarily, I guess it could change to something centered around the same note. Like it could go from like being G major to G minor and still be on the G. But what's cool is how seamlessly it transitions in Like Spinning Plates from the let me make sure yeah. So again I get there's G sharp or A flat. I don't really care about the differences. It's the same note, but that's kind of one of the harmonic centers in the song. And you might say that one is just sort of the what they call a harmonic major to the to one of the others, which is I guess the C sharp minor. So, and I feel like I'm in the weeds. Here we go. In this part of the progression, actually mixing it up with Videotape, one of their other songs. But I do that on purpose sometimes. I like to play they have some similar chords, but this part. It's pretty like clear after a while that you're listening to something in C sharp, like centered on C sharp, mostly minor, even though there's a harmonic. But it's like this is essentially the center of gravity there. And when it shifts down to the G sharp major, that's just one of those like chords that you hear that a lot, like. But what you don't hear a lot is like using that second chord and then just seamlessly letting it become the center of the key by going down out of step from the C sharp major. So like by going. It's weird. That's such a rich song with like complexities like that. That part's cool too because you don't both chords, I guess you could say, that are their own root of the harmony at different parts of the song are also like borrowing notes from different modes and stuff like. So this is a raised third, like I think people call it the Picardy third sometimes. In this context, I'd call it that because this is the chord below it. And normally that would be a minor, but the fact that it's major is what's so cool. And so yeah, like that chord is probably the most significant to me in the whole song because at one point it's acting as like this raised Picardy third, but it's also acting as the harmonic, I'm probably using the wrong words, but the major, it's acting as a major note, also out of scale for the other tonic. So anyway, really cool song. Again, probably one of my favorite early, like, not classical music songs that I started to pick up on that kind of stuff, so I might just play it again for a minute. Yeah, again, there's a song called Videotape that I'm not trying to talk about here, but it uses really similar chords, like. And then, so I like to take those and just use the actual, like, pattern that Light Spinning Plates does. Again, or I don't think I mentioned this. This is a live version that Thom Yorke did a long time ago. The album version, I don't prefer it, even though it's pretty awesome. But I like the live version the most. I actually got that backwards. What I meant to say was I like to borrow that motif from Videotape when I like lead into Light Spinning Plates. And I guess I do like to do it the other way too. Like the two just kind of get along so well.